This is the gas station security footage from the night my daughters and I lost all hope. Watch the woman in the expensive coat. What she does in the next 90 seconds, it didn't just change our lives, it redefined what I thought was possible about human kindness. This is the true story of why we are here, and not on the streets. Stay until the end, because this incredible woman and her family are about to show you what a real miracle looks like. If you believe in second chances, hit that like button right now and subscribe to True Kindness Tales. Your support helps us share more stories that restore faith in humanity. The rain wasn't falling, it was attacking, a cold, sideways assault that found every gap in my worn-out jacket. In the backseat of my rusting sedan, my two anchor points in the stormy world, Sophie, 7, with eyes too wise for her age, and Chloe, just 5, still clinging to the soft magic of a stuffed whale, were silent. Their silence was worse than crying. Crying meant they still had the energy for outrage. This quiet resignation was a chill I couldn't fight. The car idled in the lot of a 24-hour gas station, our home, for the third night in a row. The hum of the engine was the only thing between us and the howling wind. My final paycheck from the shipping yard had been swallowed by the last mortgage payment on a house we no longer owned. The Marines had taught me how to survive ambushes in Fallujah, but it had no manual for this. The domestic ambush of a dead-end economy, a wife who decided parenthood was too hard, and a cascade of bills that drowned a man's pride without a shot being fired. I was a decorated sergeant, but here I was, defeated by spreadsheets and eviction notices. I watched the Shuzi on the gas gauge dip, each tiny fall a tick of our countdown. The money in my pocket was a pathetic wad of ones, enough for maybe 2 gallons, or 4 granola bars. The choice between warmth and hunger was a daily cruelty. I rested my forehead on the steering wheel, the vinyl cold against my skin. My reflection in the rearview was a ghost, hollow cheeks, shadowed eyes. "Daddy," Sophie's voice, small but clear, cut through the drumming rain. "I'm not that hungry. Chloe can have my share." That did it. A crack in the dam. A Marine, broken by the selflessness of a second grader. A sob, harsh and ugly, tore from my throat. I slammed my fist against the wheel, not in anger, but in utter, desperate defeat. "I'm sorry," I choked out, the words barely audible. "I am so sorry, my girls. Daddy's going to figure this out. I promise." But the promises felt like lies. The only plan was to wait out the heaviest rain, then drive to the overpass where other taillights glowed in the dark, a congregation of the lost. We needed shelter. Not tomorrow. Not soon. Now. The words became a silent, screaming mantra in my skull. "We need shelter, please. Somebody, please." As if in answer, blinding white headlights washed over our car. A sleek, silver luxury SUV pulled up to the premium pump. A figure, elegant and swift, emerged, pulling her coat over her head. Even through the rain-blurred window, she looked like a different species, orderly, successful, untouchable. I watched her, not with envy, but with a distant, numb curiosity. What was a life like that? One where a storm was just an inconvenience between a warm home and a dry garage. She finished pumping, her eyes scanning the bleak lot. They passed over our car, then snapped back. She was looking right at me. Right at my daughters in the back. I looked away, shame boiling in my gut. "Don't look. Don't pity us. Just go." But she didn't. She stood there, perfectly still in the downpour, staring. And then, she started walking toward us. My military instincts, dulled by despair, sparked weakly. Assess the threat. But what threat could this woman be? She moved with a purpose that wasn't aggressive, but decisive. She stopped by my window. I hesitated, then rolled it down a bare 2 inches, the cold rain spraying my face. Yes. My voice was gravel. She didn't flinch. Her eyes, a sharp, intelligent hazel, didn't look at me with the scorn or fear I'd grown used to. They looked, assessing. Then they darted to the backseat, and her professional mask slipped. For a fleeting second, I saw a profound, motherly sadness. "It's a terrible night to be out," she said, her voice calm and clear over the rain. "Are you and your girls okay?" The simple question, asked with genuine concern, shattered my last defense. "We're managing," I lied, the words tasting like ash. Sophie, ever brave, leaned forward. "Our car is our house now. But it's cold." The woman's jaw tightened. She looked from Sophie's earnest face to Chloe's sleepy, trusting one, still clutching her wail. She looked back at me, and her gaze dropped to my Marine Corps insignia tattoo, visible on my wrist where my sleeve had written up. Something shifted in her expression. "Wait here," she said, not a request, but a quiet command. She turned and strode back to her SUV, not to leave, but to open the back. She pulled out a thick, plush blanket and a small boutique shopping bag. She returned and passed them through the window gap. "For right now," she said. Inside the bag were 2 organic juice boxes, yogurt tubes, and a box of crackers. Luxurious, overpriced snacks that to my girls were a feast. My pride screamed to refuse, but the sight of Chloe's eyes widening killed the protest. "Thank you," I whispered, the words inadequate. "I'm Alana," she said. Then, to my utter shock, she added, "and you're coming with me." I stared, bewildered. "Ma'am, we can't. I have nothing." "You have 2 daughters who need a warm bed tonight," Alana stated, her tone brooking no argument. It was the voice of someone used to making things happen. "There's a motel just off the next exit. I'll get you a room for the week." A week. It was an unimaginable fortune. "I can't accept that," I said, even as my heart screamed yes. "It's not charity," she said, and a faint, almost stern smile touched her lips. "It's a strategic relocation. Now, follow my car. Don't lose me." She turned and walked away. In a daze, I started the engine. We followed her SUV to a clean, safe-looking motel. She was already at the front desk, speaking softly to the clerk, handing over a credit card. She secured the key, handed it to me, and then, from her purse, produced a business card. In the motel's fluorescent light, I finally read it. Alana Thorne, CEO, Solace Innovations. "Sleep. Get warm. Feed your girls," she instructed. "Call this number tomorrow at 9. We'll talk." Before I could form a coherent sentence of thanks, she crouched down to Sophie and Chloe's level. "You two look after your dad tonight, okay? Brave girls." And with a final, firm nod to me, she was gone, disappearing back into the rain from which she came, leaving us standing in the dry, warm lobby, holding a key to a room, a blanket, and a sliver of shattered hope, now glinting with possibility. Before we get to the incredible ending, if this story is touching your heart, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to True Kindness Tales. Every subscription helps us find and share more real-life stories of light in the darkness. Now, back to our final chapter. Sleep in a real bed, after nights in a car seat, felt like a decadent, impossible luxury. The girls, scrubbed clean in a hot shower, slept a deep, motionless sleep I hadn't seen in months. I, however, stared at the ceiling, Alana's business card burning a hole on the nightstand. CEO, Solace Innovations. I'd heard of it, a green tech firm known for both its innovation and its ruthless business acumen. What was her play? Corporate social responsibility photo op. A project for her bored conscience. The cynical Marine in me was on high alert. At 9 a.m. sharp, heart hammering, I called from the motel phone. She answered on the first ring. "Michael, good. Are you and the girls rested?" Her efficiency was jarring. She directed me to an address, not her corporate office, but a modest industrial unit on the city's edge. When we arrived, she was there, dressed in sleek jeans and a sweater, flanked by 2 teenagers, her daughters, Isabella and Grace. They greeted Sophie and Chloe with warm, unpretentious smiles, immediately showing them a play area in the corner filled with toys. "This is a pilot project," Alana began, gesturing around the spacious, empty unit. "A clean energy storage facility. It needs a site manager. Security, maintenance, logistics. The job comes with the apartment above the garage." She pointed to a staircase. "It's small, 2 bedrooms, but it's yours, if you want the job." I was floored. "You don't know me. You don't know if I can do this. I know you were a Marine. Logistics, discipline, and protecting what's entrusted to you is in your DNA." "I did my research," she said simply. "And I know what it's like to be at rock bottom with children depending on you." Her gaze flickered to her own daughters, a shadow of a past pain crossing her face. "My husband left when the girls were toddlers. I built Solace from my kitchen table. I didn't have a stranger at a gas station. I had to fight for every inch. Consider this not charity, but a tactical investment in a person who understands the value of a safe harbor." The job was real, demanding but fair. The apartment was a palace to us, a kitchen, a bathroom with constant hot water, and doors that locked, securing our world. But the real magic happened slowly. Isabella and Grace, Alana's daughters, didn't just pity my girls, they adopted them. They brought over books, helped with homework, showed Sophie and Chloe a kindness that was peer-to-peer, healing a shame I couldn't touch. Alana, for all her CEO bluntness, became a fierce mentor. She helped me navigate VA benefits I didn't know I had, connected me with a veteran's financial advisor, and, in quiet moments, shared her own war stories from the male-dominated tech world. It wasn't a handout, it was a hand up, firm and unrelenting. One evening, 6 months later, we were all at their beautiful home for dinner. The girls were laughing in the living room. I stood with Alana on her deck, looking at the city lights. "I don't know if I'll ever be able to repay you," I said, my voice thick. She shook her head. "You already have. You showed up. You worked. You proved my investment sound." Michael, that night at the gas station, I saw a man who was drowning but still trying to hold his children above water. I didn't save a bankrupt Marine. I offered a lifeline to a father. You did the rest. She smiled, a true, warm smile. And you gave my girls something priceless, a lesson in real-world compassion, in seeing people, not statistics. We had found more than shelter. We found a harbor, a community. Alana and her daughters didn't just give us a roof, they gave us back our future, and in return, we gave them a reminder of their own humanity. It was the fairest trade I've ever known. This is Michael, Sophie, and Chloe. Our story is proof that miracles don't always look like what you expect. Sometimes, they look like a CEO in the rain, and the choice to see a person, not a problem. If this story moved you, please honor Alana's kindness by liking this video and subscribing to True Kindness Tales. Share this story, you never know who needs to hear that hope can find you, even at a gas station in a storm. Thank you for watching. Remember, be kind. You might be someone's miracle.